Good day, good day. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Jay, and this is Homeschool Your Kids podcast. Today, we have with us three special ladies, and I think it's still Women's Month, so this is right aligned, huh? We have Dr. B, Miss Rodriguez, and Miss Matsuka.
Got it.
Introduce yourself, ladies.
It's a little tricky. You got it.
All right. So it's a pleasure to speak to many, many parents across the world about the future of our education. My name is Aparna Bhargava. Everybody calls me Dr. B. I have a doctorate in instructional technology and distance education from Nova Southeastern University in Florida in 2016, and that's when I actually incorporated my virtual school because I had my research in this subject. But so today we will be actually talking about what inspired me to incorporate and revolutionize this educational system. It's our pleasure to have my staff members with me. By chance, they happened to be here and they were very curious about my story as well. So today, all three of us will be joining the podcast, and I hope that we will be able to inspire my homeschooling parents to learn a little bit more about, maybe what they know and what they don't know. So this is how it starts. I came to I my actually my I come from a family of educators. My mother and my aunties and uncles, they were been teaching. They've been educators in India, and they were teaching language. And my mom, in particular, she retired as a principal, and so we are just two of us, two sisters. So I was the one who was very passionate about, still staying in the education and pursuing higher degree. So my parents kind of pushed me to pursue higher studies, all the way 10,000 miles from India to here to come for to get my master's. When I come here, thinking that it will be really challenging, because, being a girl all alone, living in the dorm, it would be like, having such a luxurious life back home and then coming here and doing your, everything by yourself. But it turned out that, the education wise, I was like, what? This was piece of cake because what I was doing what I came here to learn for my master to get my master's degree, I actually had learned everything in my bachelor's back home. So it was like,
Mm.
Mom, I can actually finish this in 6 months if you want me to, and I
Oh,
can be
wow.
back home. But because the challenge was the culture to adapt this new culture and live by yourself with strangers in the dorm with four people, everything was so different. That was my challenge. But to just go through the books that I had already kind of even memorized, if you would say, it was like a piece of cake. So anyways, finished my I just took my time, got some job here and there, and as much as I could to survive. But did my master's, got married, and then was in my husband's business. And then my husband was like, you know what? I don't think so. This is for you. I know your passion is like for education. Go for it. So he just pushed me out of this industry, and I took those exams that for becoming a teacher. And I was then I'm from Florida, been here since 30 some years. And so I got once I got all my my certificates in place and applying it to become a teacher. You know how the system is, they put you through the ringer. And I was actually thrown in the lion's den the first time and kind of learned everything by myself as like a crash course. Found that the curriculum was very biased because when you are in the low income neighborhood, you see a different phase of education. And then kind of survived. It was challenging, but survived and saw the difference in the curriculum. And And then and that is when, I actually then got an opportunity to even teach middle school in the east side where we live, which is basically low income. And then I was also transferred to the west side of the state, which is very affluent. And I saw, how there's so much discrepancy in the education system. And the standards are not equal. You teach in a different way, and you treat the students in a different manner. So that also kind of inspired me. I was thinking, what can I do? How can I make it better? I'm just one and minority myself. So how will I kind of say, to the world what I really want my students to actually do. Anyway, I had a bit, I was also a mother of two sons, and so their education was also my priority. And but while I was at work, I'm getting calls from the private school, because I put my son in a private school. Everybody says, "Oh, public school is not good. Put them in a private school." Okay, I put them in a private school, and I'm getting calls every single day while I'm at work. Your son did this, your son did that. He's so naughty, he's very mischievous. He's found out that, there are no teachers. They're substitute teachers, and you know how the kids are. They'll play. They know the system. They know, that, the teachers are not coming. So, anyways, I said, it's time to take in charge of my own kids. Pulled him out of the private school, not even the public school, the private school, and took him out with me. And I put him in a classroom. I just asked the principal if he could be a part of the very firm teacher, and put him in a very firm, like a classroom where he could probably be disciplined. But the problem was that he was actually, kind of like, he knew the content. So the standard, the curriculum was not, um, personalized, obviously. There are 30 students, 25 students in a classroom. So it was not that he was really mischievous, but, he just didn't know how to utilize that time when the teacher was teaching, because he thought he knew everything. So during my, as I was teaching in the elementary school at that time, I actually learned a lot of things from my peers, and they say, if your son is kind of, he's learning the stuff so fast, why don't you, when he goes to the middle school, put him in the gifted class or something like that, and maybe he can take high school credits. That was a time that I really could because I didn't know that it works. Like in middle school, what? You can take high school credits? I didn't know. So I put him in, I had to talk to the teachers and the principal of his middle school, and ultimately he was taking, the eighth grade curriculum while he was in sixth grade. And so ultimately he was able to actually graduate with an associate while he was in high school, when he was only 16. And he knew what he wanted to do, because again, I was in charge as a parent. And he knew that he wanted to become a dentist, because with the Indian parents, everybody wants to become a doctor. He said, "No, I don't want to become a doctor. It takes too much time. I would do something else." And so he went into an expo, something like, probably like yours. He got encouragement from probably some dentist, and he said, "This is what I want to do." And he graduated when he was only 23. I think he's the youngest dentist, maybe right now. I could be wrong, but don't quote me. But I think he's the youngest dentist right now. He's only 24, and he's practicing. He's working, fine. What I'm saying is sometimes the system doesn't work. They fail you, and that was the time that I said, you know what, I'm going to tutor, because I know how I can actually help other students. Because if I was not told by somebody, that I could do this for my son,
Yeah.
he would have been maybe into drugs, who knows? Because these kids, when you leave them alone, you call them mischievous or he's in trouble, but actually they don't know what to do. So parents come, their role is really, really important at this time, because nobody knows your child as much as you do. So, but the resource is the next thing that is really important. If a parent knows what kind of resources are available for their child, I think it makes really easy for the child to be successful. And I don't care whether the child has autism or has some learning disability or maybe is hospital bound. I don't care. As long as the parent knows exactly what is the right thing for the child, for them to do, I think it can work. So in 2016, basically, when I graduated with a degree, with a doctoral degree, and my research was in distance education, I actually incorporated my virtual school with one student in my school. Could not do anything with one student, not even, because nobody would have vetted you. It was the but I slowly started building my own curriculum on my own LMS, because that was my expertise lies. And now, we are growing. I have about 10 uh, females, minority people working. I'm also a vendor with the Florida Department of Education, and I hold that certificate as a minority business owner. And so in my school, as I was tutoring, I realized that the kids were coming for tutoring. And I'm just gonna name a person, um as like, say, Sarah. She would just come as she has a little bit of autism, and mom is a nurse. She knows about it. She knows exactly what the problem is. But the school that she was in would give her tons of homework, and poor girl, she's holding like 10 books in her hand, and all she's getting in the school is F. So mom brings her to me and said, Dr. B, do something, do a miracle. We want an A or B in the class so that she can, do better. And I'm like, okay, we'll try to do some miracle, but this is the real situation. You're putting in her hand, maybe 10 books in her hands when she can only grasp maybe one. And that's injustice, because your child can only take so much. She can only learn, in chunks. And if you start giving her F because her disability is that she can only learn in chunks, and she cannot learn like my son, you gave him, books, and he would do that in one day. Everybody is different. You cannot treat this child because she has some kind of disability. It's not that she does not want to learn, but she has a different way to learn. And I can do the homework for her. I'm happy to get those $50 from you every time you bring her, but I'm telling you the truth. She's not going to learn this way. And because in an hour, I can only teach her one question, but I promise you that one question she can remember her whole life. But if you want me to like have her do the whole 10 questions in that hour, I'm sorry. And this is why when this child is given 40 questions during the FSA, FCAT, or all those state assessment, she's going to fail. So, yes, you're giving me the money to tutor her, but then don't tell me that she's going to get an A. And now these private schools are actually giving you an A. The child is not earning it, because when this child is going to the college, she has to take all these courses again and then spend your mom's money again, because now the state is not going to fund her. So it's better to take your time and do the right thing and get quality instruction, but rather than get an A and then get F's in the college. Or maybe some actually students come to me, they said, I'm done. The school is not for me. I'm not, because when I go, all I get is F's or D's. And I get bullied, or things like that. The other instance is like, I had another child who came from Venezuela, because we are in Florida State, so we get a lot of Caribbean and we get a lot of South American Hispanic students. They are literate, basically. They are fine. They can comprehend in their language, Spanish or whatever language they have, French, but if you give them the English books, they cannot. Don't expect them to like master the content in English. So then they also end up getting F's. And so when I was tutoring them, I was like, child, it's going to take you, John, 2 years to actually get an A. Because I know you know the content, you are literate, but to actually, really learn and comprehend and then write in English is going to take you 2 years. So you could be spending the money, and which it's a good idea to actually get tutoring, but don't expect the tutor to do miracles, because it takes at least 2 years for a child coming from a different culture, different language speaking, person. It's not me. It's the data. It's the statistics that show that. Now, I was actually fortunate enough because I came from India and I was in a English medium school, so I could comprehend in English and I could actually survive, and that's why I could have finished the whole course. So that is when I started making my curriculum more personalized. So if a child comes in my school and I see, she's going into ninth grade, but she doesn't know, she's actually takes my diagnostic test and finds out that she is at a third grade level, I'm not going to give her equations and inequalities and quadratic equations to do just to fail her and prove, I'm the best. My school is the best. I'm not going to show you a fake A. I have to teach you that third grade content. And you know what? It will take you in a year to catch up. But so what? Ultimately, when you go to college, I want you to say that I belong to PKVA family. I have learned that, what I was not taught before. So so my students inspired me. So today I know the topic is what inspired me. It's my students who actually inspired me. Yes, my family, my parents, my husband, my student, my own kids play a very important role, because I couldn't have done what I am doing now with the support of all my, I call them my family, but my staff members. But we want the students to actually survive in the global, globally, and we want our students to take their time and do the right thing. And if they have any problems, our curriculum is is not like just, yes, we do take the Florida standards, because Florida standards are actually good. It's they are very competitive, but we can tweak it, we can personalize it to meet every individualized needs of the student. And this is what we do every single day, one student at a time. And that is why I have only like up to maybe only five, sometimes not even five students in a class.
But your classroom is intimate.
It's very intimate, the teachers know, and we have the cameras on just like we have it right now. You cannot be hiding behind the camera, because how would the teacher know what? And you know what, I tell them, even though we are teaching you virtually, but I know, because we are teachers, we have eyes all over our head. We can see what you
Yes, we
think that you can hide. We can see that you are playing games on the other window. We can see that you are writing something, or you are doing something else but not paying attention. So you cannot hide from us, because just because you are virtual, so
So true.
yeah, so basically this is my story. I can maybe Miss Rodriguez can add something that she liked about, because she also came, she joined our school as a technical assistant, and maybe she can put in a few words.
Well, as what, because I usually moderate a lot of the classrooms that are there, and I can say that from the outside looking in, when it comes to parents who want to homeschool their children. I believe that the parents feel that the public school system has failed them. It has failed their child. They're looking for a specific course curriculum that is going to help and engage, keep their child engaged and keep them learning and learning on a level that will help them, like she said, explore their get themselves into their future properly. But sans all the drama that comes with the public school atmosphere that will distract a child, that's not there when it comes to the virtual classrooms, especially in PK12, because we just don't tolerate any of that. No, zero tolerance for bullying, zero tolerance for shenanigans. Basically, you're here to learn, but it doesn't remove the social constructs that sometimes homeschooling can have, because I know that a lot of parents are concerned, like, how do I keep my children integrated within that pattern of having a social life but being homeschooled at the same time. They're still able to interact with other students in the classroom, but the focus is the classroom, is the curriculum, is the learning. So the students come together and they learn all at the same time, and they can still have those social graces, but then they learn the proper social graces, and they don't have that anxiety that comes every day. Because I remember back in my day going to school, still having that anxiety, like so and so did this and this is going to happen and what's going to, like those everyday things that kids have to go through. And now it's heightened because you have cameras and social media and on all of those factors that come in. And I can just see that being just overwhelming for parents in particular, because it's like, how do I keep my child structure? And I'm watching the classroom and I'm looking at the students and they're so relaxed, and that's an element that's been removed. That all of those social anxieties that come along with going to a public school have been just completely removed. They can focus on their education. They can still have an interpersonal relationship with another student while they're in the class, still keep the social graces, but then just learn and just focus on learning. And then the teacher knows the students all up and down, and they sit down and each kid is focused on in a particular way, where I can see where the parents appreciate that, because 30 kids, somebody's falling through the cracks, and we have a teacher shortage nationwide. And the more intimate classrooms, that's what parents are looking for. We don't need glorified babysitters. They give the curriculum. If the child passes, they pass. If they don't, they don't. No parent wants that for their child. They want someone that's going to sit down with their child and notice that one particular aspect that they may be struggling in. And let's sit down. We're going to work with you a little bit more in this, because you don't need the other thing, because you know the other thing. Why waste the parents' time? Why waste the children's time? Why give them that social anxiety that comes along with going to school every day? If parents are getting tired, I can see that, as a whole, and people are looking towards homeschooling, but sometimes they themselves might not have the time or the resources to know where to go or how to do it. And that's where Dr. B comes in, and she says, you know what, if you don't have the time, we can take care of that. We'll fill in that gap for you. And you can still be completely integrated with your child's learning experience, but then feel safe that your child is actually learning something and not just going through the motions or getting some type of full curriculum or not understanding what the curriculum is when it comes time to learn. So I really, really support what she's doing when it comes to the virtual classroom environment, because I've never seen children so relaxed and just so focused in their learning. And this is from the outside coming in, just to pop in to moderate a classroom, and there's nothing to moderate other than just coming in to say hello, hi, and going on to the next class.
I also wanted to
Nice.
reiterate, as
So is this a
No, sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask is this a normal school day as far as like the amount of time that y'all spend on the virtual school? How does the school day look?
Yeah, so basically we have three programs running in the virtual school because we realize that some students, they are pretty much versed in the with the content. They just need it. Maybe they failed for some reason and they want the credit recovery. Or maybe they just want to take course by course, one at a time. The parent is there to support. Maybe they have a tutor at their, who comes at home. So we have something called self-paced courses that you could take that course, and then just do it on your own. And we would give you the diagnostic test, and we would give you, the other, the learning path with it. But basically, the child could be independently working with the support of the parent and the tutor at home. And the other aspect that we also have in our school is what we call is guided learning or synchronous learning, where the teacher will actually come live and not just say, "Oh, email me the stuff, email me your questions." So we would teach the student live, from maybe 9 o'clock until 3 o'clock. There are some classes running with a lunch break in between, depending on how many courses you want. So, I mean, obviously, the guidance counselor or me would sit down with the parent, and we would decide what would be the best route for us to go about, because some students might just want to attend one live class. Some students want 4 or 5 or 6 classes, depending on obviously the financial aspect too, and also depending on how much support the parent is getting. Our student can actually take the synchronous classes that are basically live sessions with the teacher, in a very small classroom. And when I say small, it's like less than 5 students in a class can take those courses at their pace. If you cannot finish it, you have problems, you have the ability to email the teacher, or the teacher can discuss it with you later on. But no rush, you take your time, but you learn the content. So, yes, answering your question, we have a schedule from like 9 to 3, but again, it's flexible. So, if a student does want maybe only 1 or 2 classes, then we'll have to change the schedule and the teacher schedule per se, so it's not like a fixed. But most likely it's like for the guided learning, it goes from 9 to 3 o'clock, Monday to Thursday. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday is more relaxed day. You do catch up on your learning path. You if you have any questions, I want to, with the AI coming in, we actually are tweaking our curriculum to even more hands-on projects. So we teach you a concept, and then you work at your pace, make a project, and that's your final grade. Because what will be the point to test these kids if they're gonna just copy and paste? Because this is what happened
Mm-hmm.
when I actually did not um, complete my full background. I was teaching. I actually had an opportunity to teach high school alternative center when these kids who did not pass, who have been failing there in high school, in order for them to stay, and this is in Florida, I don't know about other states, but if the school has wants to retain their A grade for the school, they would throw all these students into an alternative center so that they can retain their A and they can still get the funding, the state funds. So all these kids now, they were coming to this alternative center with some of them with 15, 20 credits not done, meaning they were failing. And nobody told them what to do until they came in 11th grade, right? So getting promoted, but nobody's telling them what to do, like, until they were thrown in the alternative center. And that's when I saw that they were just basically sitting in this one little like module, like how when the COVID happened, and they were sitting in these pods doing this online learning, and then they were just copying and pasting the answers, not knowing and not learning anything. And I'm like, boy, what are you going to do when you go to college? Because this is important. I know, like, to write maybe an essay or just something like that would be important. How would you be ready for the college and career? And these kids, these are teenagers, they don't know what they're doing is wrong. But when they got stuck in math now because it was hard to cheat in math problems, then they would come, Dr. B, I need your help. Explain me this thing. And I would just explain them the topic and not do it for them. So, and when I explained it to them, they said, "Oh my gosh, what you just said, and like what you explained to me in 5 minutes, my teacher never I could never understand what there was going on in school. I wish that you were there to actually, and I would not have left. I would have actually attended her class. But because I could not understand what was happening in the class, I just was like, okay, give me an F. I'm not gonna do it because I know I'm gonna fail your class. You're not teaching. You're just throwing the homework sheets on me when I don't know. And this is what is happening. There's a huge learning gap in public and private schools. And so if the parent don't take in charge, your child is gonna fail, and you don't want that to happen. So they actually encouraged me at that time, and this is why we are constantly as a team. My curriculum is not going to be static. It's going to be, if AI is taking over, we have to be ready, and
Yeah.
we are ready. If we want to teach in a certain way, we can tweak because we are not ruled by any of the policies from the government. We are privately owned, and it's owned by me. I'm 100% owner. I know what my student needs, and I'm going to give them what they so that they can actually be ready for the world, for the competitive world, because it's not going to be easy. AI is taking a lot of jobs. We have to make our students be ready to actually take over AI and be and command and take in charge of these robots. So, so our curriculum is actually going to be very strong, relaxed but strong and firm with them. Um, and so if any parent maybe later on wants, they don't want to take any course, maybe they don't have the funds right now, because in Florida, the governor actually released a lot of funds for private and homeschooling students. So that is kind of a blessing in disguise for us because they can use these funds towards the tutoring, and they can come to our school in Florida. But I don't know about other states. I had a call from a parent in Colorado, and they were saying, "Oh my God, it's a mess. We don't have the funds. We don't have the vouchers like you guys do." So in that case, we have just one. You can take our courses one at a time, and still graduate on time, you know and so the parents can, if they do not have that much, because nowadays everybody's struggling. It's the inflation and everything. If the parent just wants, only my advice, what they should do with a situation like this, you can just book a call on our website, and we can maybe discuss it. We in an hour or so, we do consultancy too. So maybe you can take in charge of that education for your child, because as a parent, you that what is the best thing, but maybe you don't have the resources. So if you come and consult with us, maybe there are resources that I know you might not know, or maybe you can give me some knowledge, and I can share it with our students. So I guess we can hold our hands with each other and learn, and have these future leaders, prepare them, together. This is what our goal
Indeed.
is and our vision is towards
Nice. So you
education.
all y'all offer tutoring service a la carte, and you also offer full day service and consultation
Yeah.
as far as
Yeah.
resources and
Anything,
what families need.
anything, everything that it takes for a parent to know. It's just not limited. We just want to help each other and grow. Because
Indeed.
if my kids can do it, your child can do it too. My child was not like born genius. I just made some effort. I found some resources, and I was able to, plug those resources and give it to him at the right time. So the timing does matter. You are investing in the education and do it at the right time, because sometimes, the kids, they give up. And then it's very hard to bring them back. Then now you're going to spend money on therapies. I have seen kids that they're so smart, but now the parent is spending so much money on the therapies, and I don't even know, because in my back home we don't have any therapies. We just get those vacuum and that's it. We don't have any therapies. We just learn the hard way.
We all been through it.
I didn't bring books. If I forgot, not even look. If I forget about the homework. If I forgot the book, I was being like, I was in a Catholic school back home. Oh my gosh, it was horrible. So
Oh my goodness.
timing matters. So we are there to help. PKVA is there to help. We are all there together. We will swim together. It's hard, it's
Right.
challenging. A lot of single parents, they don't know they are struggling. Anything that it takes for you, for you and your child to get this education, because education is power, knowledge is power. You can I started with just one child and I did not give up. One student. I mean, that also like a credit recovery course. So, now we are here. We are actually almost getting accredited. We have the candidacy almost done. So our high school diploma is valid.
Right.
I have one student right now who wants to do the dual enrollment. I'm so excited because, just one student just
Yeah.
called me yesterday and she said, Dr. B, when do I take the SAT? Can you please help me out? Because I wanna, do those, the college level courses, because, you save money. If you do the college level courses, they're not that hard, and we are there to support you. So in Florida, I have partnered with a lot of universities, and they can actually get free education, free college level classes that you don't have to take it when you're in college. Now, in high school, all you have to do is to pass the SAT with the 1100, which means that just about 70-75% in math and reading. And that is not, it's achievable. So even if you were struggling before, we can offer you SAT prep that you can actually pass, and then you can be ready. You can graduate early. Why sit in the classroom if you don't need it? If you already know the content, don't waste your time, save money. So at our school, time is of essence. You learn what you need and you graduate, you are ready for your career. So we are just we will be at a fast pace. Yes, you take your time, but just do the right thing. But there's no time for foolishness, and yeah,
Yeah.
just that we are strict too, at the same time. Like there's no time for foolishness. If you don't want to be in my school, you have a plenty choice out there. I have seen like the schools
Indeed.
being very, offering high school diploma really cheap, but then they're not gonna give that support that you will find with us. So anything
The
else?
individualized learning.
Right. Right. It's also just the fact that it's not just children, right? We
Right.
also tutor adults as well.
Yes, yes,
If
Nice.
a
Okay.
parent, yes, if there's a
yes.
parent, that
If
needs
you want,
help.
right? If you forgot to do high school, get your high school diploma. Don't do a GED. Come to PKVA, and we can,
Adults.
help you get high school diploma within maybe 6 months, because our courses are condensed. You take the even at the SAT and you graduate with a high school diploma. You could be 40, 50, 60 years old, and there's no, your career is at, is like that there's an obstacle. Hey, so yeah, not just the kids, but anyone. You could be behind the camera, you could do the courses all by yourself. Nobody knows how old you are, what color you are, what race you are. Just do it.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true.
Nice. So y'all are
Uh-huh.
helping all ages. That is beautiful.
Yes.
Oh, I'm new. I didn't start too long ago. My background is preschool. So I've taught from 0 to 5, past 5. I've been in school system, so I kind of felt that the school system have failed. They have failed my son because he has also learning disability, and I felt that they didn't teach him anything. So as a parent, back in the days, I didn't know that. So they didn't really emphasize on children with disabilities. They didn't really teach them, like, okay, oh, you're special. You go to a special class. I felt like they were outcasts in the school system. That's what I always
Mm,
felt. So my son's been up and down with his learning till this day. He's still going up and down. But as a mother, I'm supportive. I put him now he's at a school where there's like 10 children in the school, 10 in the class, but they work with him and he's happy and he's.
nice.
And when I discovered this place, it's funny how I discovered this. I saw her flyers everywhere. I'm like right there in Sheridan, and I'm going, and I was like, I looked every time and then one day, and I wasn't working at that time, so I said, you know what, go for it. And when I met her, I fell in love with this place. I fell in love
Um,
with her method, and she brought me tools. So I never thought of myself as a tutor, never in all my years of working in education. So this was like, whoa, are you really gonna stick to this? So I was like talk myself to myself, like, I like this and I enjoy what I do. So when I wake up in the morning and I know I have other stuff to do, I come here, I'm happy. And I feel like I'm taking one child, I tutor them, and she gives me pointers along the way, and she's guiding me along the way. And I felt comfortable. And I think,
nice.
hey, why don't I just go back to school and start doing online too? So that's even encouraging me to go further in my education. So
Nice.
it's a good thing. So it's a good experience for me. And it's teaching me, hey, you done it all. Why don't just keep going up? Keep going.
Nice.
Because I know, because I always say little ones they need foundation. And I believe that if the child cannot say ABC, cannot even sing the ABC, there's something wrong with your child. And I'm very into education. I can never see myself doing any other career. I would think, let me go do this career. I can't. I'm an educator, and that's who I will always
Nice.
be, an educator.
Nice.
So
That's
we do have
beautiful. It
passion.
sounds like you have a great team.
Yes, all of us are passionate about education. Nobody can take it
Yes.
away.
Love that. I love that you all have small class sizes because I feel like that's that's a big part of
Yes.
why we have so many lovelies that are so far behind. Because like you said, in a classroom of 25 to 30 kids, I've heard some teachers talk about having more than 40 kids in their class. There's no way to reach all those kids by all means. And I know Mr. Rodriguez, you said earlier, y'all have intimate class sessions, y'all have intimate settings, and I love that because that allows for that individuality that's needed. Like you talked about your son, you talked about your son, like both on different types of spectrums, but y'all know that they're able to learn, and if you reach them where they need to be, then they will go further. So I love that. I love what you all are providing. I love what y'all are creating and building over there. Where can we find PK12?
Online.
Online.
Everywhere, anytime.
Online, right.
Online.
Online, anywhere, anytime. It is www.pk12virtualacademy.com.
Virtual.com.
Nice.
PK12virtual.com.
Mhm.
But
Okay.
we are call away. If you go to the website and you book a call, it comes right to me. So
Nice.
we can have a conversation, and if a parent or a child needs more intense conversation just about their goals, we can consult. But yeah, we can, it's just on the website, because I have students even across the world. I have a couple kids from Dubai. I have kids from Bangladesh. I have kids, from like nationally too. So you could be anywhere around the world. We are online. All you need to do is to book a call at our website, which is www.pk12virtual.com. My phone number, please feel free to put that on the podcast or on the flyer, whichever way you do, so that the parents can reach out to us. But I'm just a call away at 954 2249699. Usually I pick up the phone. Sometimes I do have Spanish translators or my other staff members, but it's very easy to reach out to us. It's just a call away.
Nice. Y'all are offering the support parents are looking for. Like you said, like the resources are there. You just have to take lead and do your research.
Yes.
By all means, because the resources are always available. Before I let you ladies go, there's three of you, but I'm going to need three from each of you. 3 tips that you would give to families with taking control or taking lead and confidently leading their children's education. What are 3 tips you would give them?
Parents need to start learning the system. They need to find out what are resources out there. How can I help my child advance? Parents need to look and say, hey, what's out there? Because there's so many government program. There's a Step Up program
In Florida, though.
in Florida that takes even preschoolers at the age of 3.
Yeah.
But if you don't do your research, you're not going to know that. You have ELC for the preschoolers,
Right.
where you can be worked, but you just pay a little amount, or some people don't pay nothing. There is resource out there. You just got to go out there and find. Even the Florida Career Center, it's a great resource for parents that they don't use it. It's not only used for jobs, but it's used for childcare, job placement. Even schools are looking for teachers. This is where you go. You got to know. You got to go out there and find your resources. It's just not sitting.
Right.
Go out there and find out.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, that we are talking in terms of like the Florida
Florida, yes.
education system, but I'm pretty sure that in all the states, the resources are out there. If you go to the website of that state and the education department, I'm pretty sure for the homeschoolers, parents, there are plenty resources already laid out. But if a child is in in high school, I think to take the SAT and ACT would be really important. And I'm talking about from the point of view of a child who wants to actually advance further in their career and go to a college or a university. Now, if they want to go to the technical schools, then they just need a high school diploma. And but there are resources. I'm pretty sure in every state there are resources. You just have to kind of look for it. But as a virtual school, we do offer, a flexibility, like a budget too, so you can, as a parent, you can just have to call us and find out. But there are plenty of resources out there. Khan Academy is one that I love it because that's when I, prepared my child, and I'm also telling all my parents that some websites are free. There's so many, but the most important website that I found out was Khan Academy because it has it prepares you for the SAT. So yeah, anything else that you want to put in?
Well, if a parent is homeschooling, the one thing is just find out about the curriculum.
Right.
Find out, don't just leave it up to the school. And that's what Dr. B is really focusing on, that she really wants the integration between that relationship between the parent and the school and the student to be unanimous with each other, like find out what your kid is learning, see where their weak spots are. If you're looking to take your child out of public school and put them into a homeschooling environment, make sure they're not repeating the same things, like, because that will just bore any child. Sure that they're getting that tailored education that you're seeking for them. Because if once you grasp a hold of your child's education, that child is going to soar because they have your support as a parent, and that they're going to see that you're involved, and that that curriculum is focused, and that then you have, as a parent, that relaxation that, okay, my child isn't just there playing around or have shenanigans or relearning something that they learned years before in public school, that they're actually moving forward and progressing. Because when I see here, every child that comes in to PKVA, they come out learning something new every day. We do
Nice.
not let them leave without them learning at least one thing. And that's what makes the biggest difference in the world, that they leave and they're happy, and that they're smiling, and that they're okay. And that's because a parent took charge of their child's learning experience. You have to just take charge.
Nice. Anything else you ladies would like to add?
Yes, just basically, did talk about the project-based learning. We are going to be taking part in the science competition. So even though we are virtual, but we will, we are preparing our students for science experiments, competition. We are taking them for virtual field trips. We even took them to some colleges. Uh, we will be taking them outside, even though we are, like, as I said, we are virtual, but beside the virtual field trips, we will be taking them. So it's not, even though we are an online school, but we are trying to give them as much as experience of a brick and mortar school. So that they don't, they can still make friends. They can still learn at their pace and be ready, for globally, to be a citizen in that competitive world. Because I'm going to tell you that in eastern part of the hemisphere, they are not playing. The education is like going to take over there. So I'm telling you, so we have to be ready as Americans. We need to not waste time and just learn the right thing. So we will be taking part in the competition and stuff like that too. Um, Anything else that you think that I have forgotten, I guess?
No, I think you said everything.
Right.
You said everything.
I mean, there's still gonna be,
Nice.
10 questions. I'm gonna tell you there's gonna be plenty questions after this. But
Of course.
I want to tell the parents that they will see us, since you guys have an expo in Florida. You're probably gonna see all three of us in on April the 20th that you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We will try to be in other states too if we can, depending on the dates, I guess. But definitely on April 20th, if the parent has some question, they are also attending the same expo. You're gonna see us there. Otherwise, we are just a call away. We are planning to do some webinars actually on Facebook, so live webinars.
Nice.
So, maybe you can attend our, like, follow the Facebook, you say. I don't know what, but I don't like
YouTube.
use the social media that much.
YouTube.
I
YouTube
still
is
I'm,
the
I'm
new
kind of
thing,
new to
right?
it. But the Facebook, our page is Virtual Academy K12, PK12, and we can send you all those links. But we will be having lots and lots of live webinars where parents, if they have any questions, they can always talk to us live, and we'll respond to the best of our abilities. Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
About so.
Yes,
Any
yes.
questions that you might have? Because I know you have kids too.
No, I definitely think you have answered plenty of questions. I appreciate you ladies. I really do. I
Thank you.
appreciate what you have created, and I appreciate the hand that you're lending out to everyone, just to even call and offering out those resources. You're inviting people to, hey, touch base with me, like, even if you don't know, or even if you're not committing to our school, just touch bases with me so that I'm able to, like, offer some guidance somewhere. So I appreciate that. Like, that was really awesome of you, because this is the hand that parents need. This is the support that parents are looking for. Because thinking about homeschooling and thinking about removing your children from a system that your mama, your daddy, you know, your granddad is part of, and then trying to do something different, it takes a lot of courage, but it also takes a lot of beauty. And y'all are offering community. So I love it, and I appreciate you ladies to the utmost. And I'm looking forward to meeting you in person in April. It's gonna be awesome.
Absolutely, we got it in person.
I mean, and thank you
Yes,
for
yes.
Expose this.
Yes.
Of course. Of course. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So parents, please reach out to Dr. B. She is ready to help. She is ready to assist. She has a great team behind her that are offering out resources, curriculum, community. Take advantage. Please, please, please. Always remember to homeschool your kids.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank